Welcome to Kletus Ray's Roadside Service. We're rolling through, we just got through Columbia. We went to St. Louis today. Got me a big old box full of old food. Taking it to an organic recycling facility, which now it's starting to get warmer out. So this is going to be exciting. You know, you got to keep your doors shut as much as possible. No windows cracked, nothing like that. The flies will get in. I also feel a lot pretty shitty right now. Okay, I got like some sort of a sore throat, headache deal going on. So I doubt this is gonna be a long podcast, but yeah, I don't know. Even yesterday, I recorded an episode, but I still don't feel too. I didn't feel great then either, but I made it through it. I don't know. Hopefully, this will be gone tomorrow. And unfortunately, since that job got canceled, it opened up the rest of my week. And instead of, oh, sorry, I got burping going on. Instead of shaving on Thursday, now I got to shave tomorrow, which is Wednesday, which is just fucking wonderful. I just can't wait to shave my beard. I feel like every time I get it to a good spot and it's like, it's there, it's where it needs to be, they make me fucking cut it off. Motherfuckers. So yeah, and I get extra upset whenever I have to shave because I don't know. I got something inside of me that likes to look good, even though I don't look good. I feel like I look okay, and then when I shave, I definitely don't look okay, and I don't feel good in this fat body. Okay, with my little double chin flapping in the wind. Okay, I want that shit covered up. I want it covered up with a beard. I could be a damn model some days. I look in the mirror and I'm like, holy shit, I look fucking good. You know, like right after I shave, like a day after I shave or whatever. You know, just like up on my cheek and down on my neck. Right after I like clean up, I look okay. I look good. But it's like the day after with a little bit of like 5 o'clock shadow going on. But it's not. It's like barely anything. It's like that's where I'm like, all right. Here we go. Looking fucking nice. And then I usually let myself go pretty far. I let it grow all the way up to my cheek and fucking tickle my damn eyelashes and shit. Just kidding. It doesn't go up that far, but it does go up pretty high on my cheek. And I just let it grow all out, and I look like fucking shit. So then whenever I do shave, and even the next day, it's like people that hadn't seen me in a couple of days, they're like, "Whoa, you look like 1,000 times better than you did before." Nobody's ever said that, but I can see it in their eyes. They're like, damn, that guy fucking cleaned up good. He really does clean up pretty good. Anyways, not too excited about that. Not too excited about shaving my face off. I, last couple times I had to shave, it actually wasn't so bad. I lost a decent amount of weight, and it starts in your face where the weight loss really shows. The belly, it's going to take a while for the belly to actually, you know, get down to a good size. But the face, usually, whenever I start losing weight, the face looks way better. And so there was like 2 times that I had to shave that it actually it bothered me, but it was kind of cool to see what I've been hiding. That I was like, wow, all right, I have been losing weight. This is cool. This is cool. The double chin is still there, but it's not as noticeable. But guys, I've been on a bender. Okay, I've been fucking. Wife has been making cookies. I've been eating cereal. I ate a Pop Tart the other day. I'm like, I'm horrible, guys. I'm not doing good. Did not eat dinner last night. I don't know why. I just didn't feel too good. Here's this Dodge again. I fucking passed. This guy passed me, got in front of me, slowed down. I passed him. He got in front of me and slowed down. I don't know. I passed this guy several times now, and now I just passed him again. I'm just like, get the fuck out of the road, dude. Take an exit. He's not being mean or anything, but I know what he's doing. He let me pass him, and then about 3 miles up, he's gonna come right around me. I'm like, you motherfucker! And now we're coming into a work zone, and I like to slow down to at least five. The most I'll do in a work zone is like 5 over. And everybody else around me decides, they're like, no, work zones don't matter. You can go as fast as you want in a work zone. That's what everybody acts like around here. Going over a river over here. I think it could be the Missouri. Like, yeah, I got a fucking semi up on my ass. I'm like, we're in a 60-mile-an-hour work zone, and I can't tell if there's a cop up ahead or not. And you're passing me, and I'm doing 68 in a 60? Oh, we got some flashing lights on some trucks over here. I don't know. So I usually don't advocate for people getting pulled over. Like, a lot of people cheer whenever they see somebody get pulled over and they deserve it. I don't like people getting pulled over at all. But I don't know. Whenever I've been on the work zone, I've been in a work zone. I've been working at a work zone, and I do appreciate people doing the right speeds, or at least, slowing down a little bit and being a little bit more cautious. But then you got these fucking idiot truck drivers that are just like, I'm gonna take my 80,000-pound thing and just continue to go fast as fuck through here, passing on a solid line, about hitting cones and shit. This motherfucker. Mm-mm. So, yeah, talked to my buddy Luke about getting this swing set. The swing set, just got an update today that it's actually being delivered tomorrow instead of next week, which is interesting. I wonder how big of a box it's going to be in. What kind of truck is going to drop this motherfucker off? Is it going to be an Amazon driver? Fuck, I hope not. They're going to fucking be very upset. Yeah, I need to get over. There's a fucking tow truck, okay? There's that Dodge. She's coming up again on me. He's coming up on me. I'm just gonna go ahead and hammer it down. I think I'm limited to 78, and I'm in a 70, so but my truck actually, if you look at the GPS, I actually can only go 75. The speedometer's a little bit off, but the truck thinks I'm doing 78, so it will beep at me. Just bump it down to 77. I can't do 8 over. If I do 8 over, it'll beep at me. If I do 7 over, it'll be all right. Anyways, when I'm actually only doing, 4 over. So I'm not 74 and a 70. I don't think any officers are going to be bothering with that. They might, but you got fucking little Ford Taurus over here and fucking Mazda MDX over here just fucking scooting by me like I'm standing still. They will ignore them and pull me over. I've seen that happen. I've been the victim of that. But don't you dare bring that up to the officer when he walks up to your window. You don't say something like, man, I think you were radaring the car next to me because they were fucking flying by me. That's an insult to his job. And then you're for sure getting a ticket then. He's like, oh, really? You think I pulled over the wrong guy, huh? You think I made a mistake, huh? I'm a state trooper. I know what the fuck I'm doing. You're the one doing 82 in the 70. Like, no, actually, I'm limited to 75. I'm actually limited to 75. I mean, yeah, it's in there. I could probably find it in fucking all the computer on here. I could probably find all that where it says I'm limited. But anyways, I don't know that. I've never had that. I have been pulled over when I think it was they were radar and somebody else. Just be respectful and act like you deserve it. Okay, just and eventually they'll go away. It's kind of like a dog. You act like a tree and they'll go away. My dogs don't go away, so that doesn't really work. If I act like a tree, no, my dogs are jumping all over me. They're like, what the hell's wrong with him? Let's fucking keep fucking with him until he moves. What else is going on? I think I got a guy coming to buy one of them bed sliders today. I'm not exactly sure when I'm gonna be able to be at my house, but I told him 6:30. I think I'll make it. It's 2:15 right now in the afternoon on Tuesday. Uh, I'm on my way back. I just drove from Kansas City to East St. Louis, which is in Illinois. It confused me the first time I had to come out here. It's like, oh, our St. Louis office is in Illinois? That's weird. Yeah, you just cross the bridge and it's right there. So, anyways, picked up a box and got paperwork, which I don't agree with the paperwork, but that's what they gave me. And the place where I'm dumping, they don't even look at the paper. They don't care. So it'll be all right. Somebody will figure it out on the back end. Because usually, if we're hauling anything, and we write up a POL. We are the generator on there. We're the generator and the transporter. And then there's two other fields that are required to be filled in, which is the customer and then the disposal. And this one has got the customer as the generator and the customer, and then we're just the transporter, which is it ain't right. It ain't right. Damn, this little Hyundai is struggling to get up this hill. You poor little Hyundai. I see three fatties in there. That thing is just screaming up the hill. Broken windshield, half a bumper. That Hyundai gonna do it. Hyundai makes a couple good cars, like a Genesis, but I don't know. I really, I've always, categorized Hyundai kind of with Kia. They're like disposable cars. They're not meant to last. Kia's got that Stinger out. It's a Kia Stinger. It's supposed to be pretty fast or whatever. I don't know. I don't think it looks good. But who am I? I think an old rusty truck looks best out of anything. Like a Ferrari versus an old rusty truck. I mean, I'll take the Ferrari, but I'm going to sell it for 1,000 fucking rusty trucks. I like them rusty. People don't understand that. People don't understand that. And that's why I'm having a hard time. Like, I got to paint my truck. I don't like the mismatched door and mismatched hood. Don't like that with the rocker panels that had been replaced and don't match like the black silver scheme that I got going on that truck. And then the red door with the gray stripe in the middle, I don't know. I don't want it to mismatch. I want it to match, but so I'm going to do a really shitty paint job on the door and the hood to make them match, but it's not going to look great. And then I'll probably will paint the rockers because I don't need those fun things rusted out again. Just gonna, I don't know, one of these days I'll end up doing that. The car, No, I haven't done anything to cars. Well, last time I talked about, I carpet cleaned it, so it's sitting there. It's ready to go. I've been debating on painting the hubcaps still. I know last time I talked about painting them, but I think I'm just gonna give them the car the way it is. I don't want to. I don't. If they end up buying it, then I'll say, yeah, I'll take the hubcaps home. I'll clean it up. But if they're not gonna buy it, I don't know. I don't know if I want to, or they won't care. I don't know. I don't think the paint on the hubcaps is going to increase the value at all. They're hubcaps. Now the one thing I do want to do is get a hammer and a fucking chisel, or not a chisel, but like a punch, or like a worn out chisel. So it's not gonna, like, I'm not trying to cut through anything. I need to bang the rim out. The rim got bent in the tire machine because I was not aware on how to run the tire machine. Or, well, I was aware on how to run it, but I didn't realize, like, it was trying to beat itself as I was putting it on. It beaded, and you can't have it bead. You got to have, that's what the little push down mechanism thing on there is for, to keep that tire from getting on the bead. Because if it gets on the bead, it will either stretch and rip the tire or bend the rim. And mine bent the rim. I realized it a little too late. So, anyways, but the rim is still round. It's just like the lip of the rim is just bent up. So I just got to beat it down, or just put on hubcaps and nobody will ever notice. But they're gonna put new tires on the car too if they buy it. They're gonna throw a new set of tires on there. I was like, it needs them. I've got two of the original tires I bought the car with. However, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Kind of hard to keep track of time that far away. Still got the two of the tires are original to the car when I bought it. They were on the back. They just don't wear out back there. There's not a lot of weight, and it's front wheel drive, and I did burnout, so the front ones wore out. I had to replace those two. But anyways, my truck. I thought about doing the starter, but last night I didn't feel good. Didn't want to eat dinner. Didn't want to do anything. I just got home, went to fucking on the couch. I watched a bunch of shit last night. I did do a lot of laundry, so that was my reason I had to stay up so late. I was running a bunch of different loads of laundry. I had to wash the wife's shit, the kid's shit, my shit. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing all the laundry for? What the hell's going on here? But it didn't really bother me that much. I watched a movie called The Dead Don't Die with Bill Murray. I don't know. Last night I was like, I want to find a Bill Murray movie to watch. Ever since I seen him go on Rogan, I was like, I want to just watch a Bill Murray movie. So I found one. It's called The Dead Don't Die. It's on Netflix. I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. I can see how people might not be into that type of a movie, but they like break the fourth wall. It's kind of a dry-ish humor. I was trying to tell my son that this is a funny movie, and he's like, "That's scary." I'm like, "Yeah, it is, but it's kind of funny though." But it's too much for him. But he did sit there and look up from his tablet every now and again and see somebody getting their head chopped off. And he's like, "Was that a zombie?" I'm like, "Yes, it was a zombie. Not cutting off good people's heads; they're cutting off zombie heads." But it's a good movie, man. Like, it doesn't follow the normal movie guidelines. I loved it. I thought it was great. Check it out. Uh, and then there's another limited TV series or limited series or whatever. I don't know. It's an hour-long episodes. It's called American Primeval. Fucking, I made him go to bed before I even turned that on, and because I had heard things about it, and I'm glad I did. because that show, it made my skin crawl a couple of times. It made me, look like somebody's like, hey, show me your front teeth. I'd do that. But that's just reactionary. It's like, oh, y'all, they're they're cutting. I don't want to give anything away. Oh, what are they doing over there? Oh my God, it's good. It's a good show. Watched 2 episodes, maybe even 3. I don't remember, but it was a good show. I'm excited to watch the rest of the episodes of that. I want to kind of binge that, maybe even tonight. But yeah, watch some good stuff on the TV. It was a successful TV night. Usually I just turn on YouTube on my TV and scroll through a bunch of fucking videos. Rarely ever like sit down and watch a movie or TV show or anything like that. So it was interesting, but I just felt like shit. So it was a perfect night to just sit and watch that, hungry and hurting and not feeling good. It was good. It was a good night for that. And the dogs were being cooperative. Luna, that German Shepherd puppy. Oh, she's just the sweetest dog in the world. Okay, and I don't know. Somehow, I thought for sure that my wife spending all the time with her, that dog was going to be attached to her at the hip. But that dog gets so excited when I get home. That dog just wants everything to do with me. She's just like, what are you doing? Where are you going? We're going in the garage? All right. Oh, you want me out of the garage? Okay. And then she'll just hang out by the door. Sometimes I got to open up the garage door. I don't need her running away. I don't know if she'll run away, but I don't want to find out, especially last night. And I was like, I'm not chasing dogs today. Okay, please, just don't run away. Just go inside. I'll be back in a little bit. I had to go out there to grab some tools so whenever we replaced my water heater, it leaked water out and it was all rusty water and there's chunks of shit. We used a towel to kind of clean that up. Me, being a really dumb guy, threw that towel in the washer, ran it, and then whenever I was taking clothes out of it and towels and shit, there's all these little chunks of rust in there. I was like, oh no. So I had to take the fucking washer apart and wipe out all the rusty chunks and everything, because I'm just imagining that the water pump system that pumps all the water out of there doesn't want chunks of rust going through it. So I had to clean it out, and it's working good. I did have issues with the washer a while back. It was not rusty chunks. I don't know what the hell. It was like it just kept filling. You turn it on and it'd fill. And it was full to the fucking top. Then it started to overflow. And I took apart the control panel. I used a shop vac to get all the liquid out. It was empty, no clothes in it. Used a shop vac to get all the water out of it, at least down to a manageable level. Scooted it out, took the control panel apart, put it back together. Still wasn't working, took it apart again, put it back together, and I don't know what the fuck I did, but it works now. It works now. There goes a gold Cybertruck. There was something else going on. I don't know. I'm in the middle of a Bert Kreischer, Joe Rogan episode. I haven't heard Bert in a while. He posts shit up all the time, but I never click on it. He's a lot. He's a big personality, is what he is, and I stopped it halfway through to record a podcast because I just needed a break. I was like, all right, hold on, let's take a break. Bert, I love you, but I just need a break. It's a long, long drive home listening to Bert. I do like him. I don't know. I shouldn't talk shit on him. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. I do appreciate him. I'm glad he's around. Just, I don't know why, but I don't like to listen to him a lot. You would think I would, but I don't know. The interrupting, the me, it's just a lot. So it's like, so every now and again I'll listen to it. But, I am also not excited to get to this place where I'm going. You know, I'm going to an organic recycling place. I'm going to get there right at 4 o'clock. I got rubber boots with me. I don't know. It depends on how it looks out there. I might put the rubber boots on. It's been pretty dry, so I think, well, I don't know. It did rain the other day. I don't think it, I think it's going to be pretty dry. I think the ground is pretty dry. I don't know. I don't want to go out there and be sloshing around in fucking old bacon, you know? So, might throw on the rubber boots just because this is the end. You know, usually I wouldn't have too much of a problem with it because I'm doing a bunch of different shit, but this is like the last thing I'm doing today is walking around a swamp of old food. And then it's like, you don't walk around, you don't do a whole lot to wear it off your boots. You know, usually I walk around the parking lot, walk back and forth, walk around, do this. And when I get home, I walk through the grass to get to the front door. Sometimes because my knees don't want to work and lift my leg up all the way, and the railing isn't, you know, rated to support my weight anymore. It's the railing's going bad. I don't want to fall down on the stairs. So I just walk through the yard. It's a nice gradual 4-foot raise up to the front door. You know, some days it's just a walk through the yard type of day. Mornings it's easy to go down the stairs. I go down the stairs in the morning, that's for sure. I'm excited to get rid of this car though. It's gonna be a whole open driveway after that. Right now I got 4 cars in my driveway, 2 of them full-size pickups, and ready to get rid of this one car. It's gonna make everything a lot easier. I'm also, I don't know, I guess I could do some measuring. I don't think I want to, but it would be interesting if I could measure the square body and see if it will fit in the garage. If I have to remove a bumper, I mean, I might do that. But if I could roll it in and out of the garage, and then we could just have 2 vehicles in the driveway. Last time I had 2 vehicles in the driveway was, this is a long time ago. That was a long time ago that I only had 2 vehicles in the driveway. I've almost always had 3. Always had 3 vehicles. Now I got 4. It's ridiculous. Well, I am gonna give this dirt bike's been really hurting on my mind a little bit. I think I got it figured out. I think I'm gonna be okay with it. I don't know. My wife does not. She's not a big fan of me on a motorcycle. She's like, "You're top heavy, babe." I'm like, "The hell? What the hell? You talking top heavy? What? Like my bottom's heavy too. Okay. I know I don't look like a tightrope walker. Okay. They got the big stick and everything. I don't look, but I am like a kitty cat sometimes. Last time I fell down, I haven't fallen in a while. Okay. So I'm doing all right. You know, yeah, just think about that right now. You right now listening to this. Think about the last time you actually fell the fuck down. You know, not just like little trip, stumble. No, you fell the fuck out, okay? The last one I can really remember was I was jumping out of the back of the walking floor trailer next to the big open pit. And it's got like a wheel stopper built in, like right there, so like you don't back your trailer into the pit, but it's like a 75-degree angle. And when I jumped out, there was too much shit on the ground, I couldn't see. And when I jumped out, my foot landed. I thought I was going to land on the flat ground, but one foot landed right on the 75-degree slope, and is all wet and slick, and I fell the fuck down. I almost went into the pit. It would have been a way better story if I did go in the pit. Sometimes I wish I did fall in the pit. There's other shit in there, and a bunch of nasty stuff, but it would have been really funny if I would have fallen in the pit. I think back to that day all the time. I'm like, what if I did fall in the pit and like break an arm? That would have been a way better story. But no, I just fell out of the pit, hit my ass, and I fucking limped for 3 days. And I didn't tell anybody. I don't need to be brought up in the Monday meeting for being a dumbass. But it wasn't there's no other way to do that, okay? Your truck has to be that close to the pit. You have to get in the fucking truck. You have to get out of the truck before the pallets start coming out. What are you supposed to do? I mean, there's no ladder. There's no way the floor is moving, y'all. You could turn the PTO off and then get in, but that accomplishes nothing. You need the floor to be moving while you're getting it unstuck, or else it's too much. There's no good way to do it. I guess I could have pulled forward and let the pallets fall on the ground, and they could have used their wheel loader to put it in the pit. But the guys didn't really want me to do that, okay? So I fell on my ass, and I kept it a secret. Okay? If I have to go to the hospital, I'll tell somebody. If I don't need to go to the hospital, it's okay. We're relaxed. Everything's fine. As long as if anything does start happening, I got 24 hours. Okay? You'll know if within 24 hours, if you're like, fuck, I need to bring this up to somebody. I need somebody to pay me. Okay? Somebody fix me and pay me. Workman's comp. Just kidding. I'm not that type of guy. I did have 2 incidents with this company. I had one with I had 2. No, well, technically 2 at the lumber company. And one, I sliced a band, like a plastic, band for lumber. I sliced it, and it fucking whipped back and hit me in the fucking eyeball. But I didn't report that. I said, nope, it happened at home. Don't need anybody doing anything for that. And I just paid for that myself. That's fine. So yeah, not rescue, self-medicated. That one. The other one, it was also at the banding machine, but I just had bent down to grab, you throw the banding around the pile of lumber, and then you gotta, sometimes you drop it, you gotta reach down, and that's all I was doing, was reaching down, and something popped in my back, and I was like, oh, fuck. And it was hard to walk. Everything felt bad. Nothing was good. And I ended up getting physical therapy. They just hooked me up to a 9-volt battery and just shocked me every now and again. The old Japanese lady with a cattle prod just kept poking at me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, you broke. I fixed. I'm like, okay, whatever you say, lady. And I got fixed. I don't know. She used her voodoo magic on me and got me all fixed up. But, so, weird time in my life. I've had a couple other weird times. Let's think of another weird time I've had in my life. Another weird thing. A position that I could never have imagined myself being in. It's gonna. There's a lot, but I've talked about them slightly recently, so I don't want to. I want to bring up one of those. Like I got. Hmm. I've been. Man, I can't even think right now. I'll think of one. Hold on. All right, I found one. I had to pause for a second. I found one. I've talked about this on the podcast before, but let's just bring you up to date on this one time I was working at a gas station. Okay, I had worked at this gas station for a little while, not too long, but for a while. I was comfortable there, and there's this kid that walked up, and I don't know, he came in and like bought a pop or something. Oh shit! Somebody's getting pulled over. There are two semis blocking a police officer from getting over. All right, so I worked at this gas station for a while, and this kid showed up. He bought a pop, and he was just kind of hanging out. And this was like midday. Are you not going to get over, you fucking dipshit? You have plenty of room. Oh, this guy's not going to do well. Don't let him over. He had plenty of room to get over, and this motherfucker didn't get over for that fucking tow truck driver. I hate this. I hate that fucking guy. Sorry, shit's happening right now. I'm right in the middle of my story. I'll start it over in a second. I gotta get up here. This fucking guy. I'm not gonna road rage him. I'm just gonna fucking look at him. I want to see what the fucking a guy that doesn't pull over for a tow truck that's got the room looks like. What the fuck? Pinnacle Rental and Leasing ran by Shidoo Lines. Sidhu. This fucking guy. Bump the line on him a little bit. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking dipshit. Fucking flip-flop, fucking trucker, piece of shit motherfucker. I fucking hate him. You know, you can drive a truck in flip-flops and be okay, but most of them ain't, okay? Most of them are fucking dumb. Flip-flop, I can't even fucking talk. Alright, so let's start this story. Working at a gas station. I know I've said this 3 times, but I gotta say it all again, okay? Relax. Working at a gas station, the guy comes in, buys a pop. And then he's just kind of hanging out outside. I see him, because I see everything, okay? Nothing gets by me, except for that one time they stole my fucking truck right out from underneath my goddamn nose. So, that's a different story. This guy's walking around, and then it's like getting close to closing time. And so it's like an hour to closing time, and he comes in to use the bathroom or something, and I'm like, hey man, what's going on? Like, we're going to be closing soon. You're going to have to go. He's like, okay, man. He's like, how far away is Grandview from here? I'm like, kind of far. So, okay, well, I need to find a ride. I'm like, well, you know what? How about this? If you don't find a ride, by the time I close down, get everything closed out, and lock the fucking door, I'll take you wherever you need to go because I'm headed not in that direction. But, whatever. I'll take you wherever you need to go. So, I don't even, I probably had his name. I don't know his name. Let's just call him fucking, what's a good name for this guy? Just, how about, Xander? I don't know. Not Xander. How about, what's a good name for this type of guy? This guy, his name is probably, I sold crack a couple of times. That's probably his name. So I sold crack a couple of times. He's still there. I close up. I say, all right, well, hop in and let's go. And he's like, oh, man, I can't believe you're helping me out and all this shit. And I don't know. We probably had a normal conversation, nothing crazy. He looked like a no good motherfucker. But he seemed all right. So we get in my 78 short bed, four-wheel drive, rusted the fuck. I've got 2 seats and a late 90s Chevy center console in there. In the seats, I put the seats in myself with self-tappers, okay? So they're not exactly secure, but they're all right. They're in there. And driving around, I'm like, all right, you're headed to Grandview. All right, let's go this way. And then we get off on, like, Blue Ridge. And we're just driving. I'm like, how far down Blue Ridge is it? And he's like, oh, just keep going. And so we're driving. He's like, yeah, just keep going. I'm like, okay. And keep going. And I don't think this is even Grandview right here. I don't know where city lines fucking meet over there. There's like a couple of different cities over there. But it's near Grandview, near the triangle-ish type area. So we're driving down, and then we finally get to his place. I pull up. It looks like a decent house. Doesn't look like run down or anything. He's like, oh, thanks, man, for the ride. He's like, hey, I actually have money inside. I'll give you for gas. I said, don't worry about it, man. He's like, no. Come in. I'll give you a drink. I'll get you paid. Blah blah blah. He's like, I just got to go in there. I don't need your charity. I'm like, okay. Mistake number 1. Well, this is mistake probably number 3 at this time. I should have kicked him out of the gas station. I shouldn't have let him stick around till closing time. I shouldn't have let him in my truck. And I should have just dropped him off a little closer to home so he could have walked there. But no, I'm just a naive fucking guy. So I go inside his fucking house. And this place is full to the top. It's like a hoarder's house, okay? It's like got newspapers stacked up, cardboard boxes everywhere. No babies and no dogs anywhere, but there's like dog toys and baby toys and like old bowls of cereal sitting on stacks of boxes and shit. Pizza boxes with the crust. I'm like, you don't like the crust? You only ate half your garlic sauce. It has been sitting there for a while. You got some sort of science experiment going on here. You're seeing how long this pizza crust takes to decompose in open air atmosphere. I don't know what he was doing, but it was a dirty fucking place. And I'm not going to knock him for having a dirty place. I've had a dirty place too, okay? It happens. But this is like, whoa. Was not expecting that when I walked in there. He comes out with a Ziploc bag full of coins. He's like, man, this has got to be like $10. I'm like, okay. So I grab it, and I'm like, all right, I'll see you later. He's like, wait. And, usually if you're in this situation, somebody says, wait, that means run, get in your truck, and get the fuck out of there. I didn't. I stopped, and I turned around and said, what's up? He's like, my aunt needs a ride. I said, dude, I got to get home. It's like midnight. I gotta get fucking home. I gotta open that fucking store again in the morning. He's like, no, it's not far. It's not far. We just need to ride real quick. I'm like, we? He's like, yeah, she's gonna come with us. So and we'll get you more money. I'm like, dude, I don't care about the money. First off, it's fucking pennies in a Ziploc. I don't need this. I don't know where these pennies been, but if they could talk, they'd have a story. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. If these pennies, you could read the past from these pennies. These pennies been in some weird fucking spots. So I say, yeah, sure. Mistake number 7. So, but I'm like, there's no room in my truck. Like, I only have 2 seats, dude. He's like, oh, that's fine. She could sit on the floor in your truck. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, sure. That sounds like a great idea, you know? And I probably did say that, but I meant it as sarcastic. But when she really got in there, I was like, what the fuck is this? It's like, don't sit on my center console, you fat hoe. You break my damn center console, and my fucking Ziploc of pennies is gonna bust. You know, don't need that shit. There's too many rust holes in this truck. Those pennies fucking come out of that bag. I ain't getting them back. I'm gonna lose $3 on the way to this new fucking place. So, anyways, we get in. We're driving. This lady, I don't know her past, but she ain't got no teeth. She ain't got no teeth. Wrinkly, but not old. In a nightgown with no bra, and probably no panties neither. My truck never smelled good, but it smelled better than that at some point in time. It was probably one of the worst smells in that truck. So anyways, we're driving around, and I'm like, where? He's like, yeah, it's just like a couple blocks over. No, it was not a couple blocks over. It's in a whole nother town on the other side of town. I don't even remember where the fuck I was. It was midnight. I'm driving around. I got like yellow headlights. I can't see shit. It's a loud fucking V8 350 rusted ass truck, just blah 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 blah, just around town at midnight. And then she's like, "Oh, turn here." So I turn here. I pull down, and it looks like an old folks retirement neighborhood. And she's like, yeah, right here. Just drop me off right here. So I just stop in the middle of the road under there's a street light ahead of me, like illuminating the street. She hops out of the truck over her nephew. You know, I don't know if they fucked at that point in time or not, but they could have got close. They could have got real close, you know. She hopped over him and got out and ran like into the fucking bushes. I was like, he's like, you know, she used to dance. I'm like, oh, like, I don't know, what, like Broadway or like what? He's like, no, exotic. I was like, oh, cool. He's like, yeah, she's pretty fucking hot. I'm like, that's your aunt? He's like, yeah. He's like, you know, if you want. I'm like, no, dude, no, don't worry about it, man. And then this bitch in nightgown and saggy titties fucking pops out of the bushes under the streetlight, runs in the middle of the road like fucking Samsquanch, fucking looks at us, and then runs to the other side of the road into the bushes. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck was that? He's like, yeah, she hasn't been over here in a while. She's trying to find the right house. I think I was the getaway driver for a home invasion that night. She's running around fucking, you know, looking like Scooby-Doo running from this bush over here. Like, she came from the same side of the road at least 3 times and only came from the other side of the road once. I don't know how the fuck she been fucking running around barefoot, too. Well, she might have had one shoe on. finally, she runs back. She gets in the truck and take them back to their house. And they're like, hey, let's, uh, I don't know. They wanted to get pizza or something. And I said, listen, guys, I'm not your friend. I'm not here to hang out. I don't want to be here. I got to go. And that's not how that went. I think I agreed to something and I just got in my truck and I left. And I was like, that was a weird fucking situation I just was in. Never done that before. I've given strangers a ride before, but nothing like this. I'm pretty sure I was part of either a drug deal, a home invasion, possibly a kidnapping, a fucking exotic dancer, crackhead, no teeth, saggy titties. It was not good. It was not a good night. But it's really, I'm so glad I wasn't murdered. I would have been crazy to get murdered that night. Or to get addicted to drugs. I think when they were talking about getting something to eat, they meant rocks of crack or something. But I resisted and I got out of there. I'm proud of myself for getting myself out of that situation. I consider myself a hero to myself. I got out of there. No STDs. No addictions. I don't know their names. I've never been to their house again, and I don't think I'll ever will. But there is a small chance I'll meet up with these people again. You never know. And it's hard to explain this to people because this was like flip phone days, okay? So this wasn't, I didn't have, well, I think I did have a smartphone. I had a straight talk phone that I had just got. And I didn't even realize you could go on to Craigslist with a cell phone. I was like, you can do what? You can go on Craigslist on this? Don't you need a computer? But so anyways, it's like I didn't tell anybody what was going on. I could have vanished. I could have been a fucking Netflix documentary that would have had a lot of twists and turns. It could have been a really good money-making opportunity in the documentary field if I had been murdered. I was also single at the time, so maybe my parents would have made the money off of that or something. I don't know. It was a fucking crazy fucking time. Yeah, that gas station. I guess I'll tell you about the time my truck was stolen right out from underneath my nose. So I had just showed up to work. This was early on, me working there, I think. Well, it couldn't have been that early on. But I always parked right next to the building, right next to the doors. It's kind of like the employee parking lot. The customer parking lot was out front. This was off to the side. And I always backed into my spot. And I always left the key in the ignition because I'm not smart at all. Well, I lived with my buddy's dad for a while, and I would take the key out, but every time it seemed like every time I took the key out, he'd be complaining that he needs to move my truck on the farm for whatever reason, out of the shop, into the shop, whatever, and he ain't got the keys. Like, quit taking the fucking key out of the ignition. Leave it in there. So I got into the habit of not carrying carrying keys like on my belt loop, but just leaving the single key in the truck. I could still lock the truck and stuff, but I never did. Never fucking locked it. Never did anything. I basically lived out of this truck. I think I was living with a girl that worked at this fucking gas station. I got the job. I moved back from my buddy's dad's house, and I was kind of seeing this girl, and she wanted me to work with her, so I got a job at this gas station, and they ended up separating us. We weren't together, but We would fool around every now and again. Anyways, I started working at this gas station, all that shit. But anyways, that's where I got the habit of leaving the key in that truck, and that was really the only truck I ever did that with. I learned a hard lesson on why you don't do that, but I thought I had everything figured out. This is a 1978 rusted piece of shit. Nobody wants this except for me. Also, it's got a manual choke. If you don't know how to start this fucking thing, you're not starting it. Unless it has just been turned off. So I show up to work, go inside, I'm, getting ready for shift, stocking candy, filling coffee, cleaning the little spouts on the soda machine. I don't know. I was in there doing work. And I hear, rum, rah, 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 rah. I'm like, oh shit, somebody's pulling in here with a fucking hot ass ride. I'm going to go take a look. Look out the window, and I don't see anything. And then all of a sudden, my truck just starts leaving the parking lot. And I'm like, whoa, whoa. And I'm thinking it's one of my buddies playing a prank on me. And they take off, fly out, run the stop sign, about get T-boned, and then all over the bridge into the sunset. And I was like, I ran outside, and I'm like, what happened? And I have never felt so violated in my life. I lived out of that fucking thing, okay? They had a toolbox in the back that had, like, all kinds of stuff of mine in it. The interior was full of my stuff. That was my fucking truck. And somebody just took off with it. And it was my fault. So I waited probably 10 minutes, texted my buddies. I'm like, hey, bring it back. And they're all like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm calling the cops, so you can either bring it back or I'm going to report it stolen. And it wasn't my friends. My friends did not steal my truck. It was a fucking couple of little hoodlums. Because I went back and I watched the tapes, and you can see them. They came in, they bought something, they went back out, they walk over to the truck, they walk back out, they go across the other side of the parking lot, and then I guess they went around the back of the store, hopped in the truck, fired it up, took the fuck off. And it's just fucking, it's like, oh my God. It's so embarrassing and just sad. A lot of sadness. So I called the cops, said, hey, my truck was just stolen from the parking lot at my job. Okay, we'll send somebody over. 4 hours later, well, no, let's not go that far yet. I called my boss, and I said, hey, I'm the only one working here, and somebody just stole my fucking truck. He's like, oh, no. I said, yeah, not good. He's like, well, did you call the cops? I was like, yeah. He's like, okay. Is there a reason you can't continue to work your shift? I was like, my truck was just stolen. He's like, okay, all right, I understand. But you called the cops? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, they'll take care of it, and you just keep doing a good job. I'm like, the fuck, dude? Send somebody over here to fucking replace me. I gotta go out and fucking find my truck. Anyways, I was a pushover, and he said no. And so I sat there for 4 hours. And then finally, a cop pulled up and parked in the same exact parking spot. Cops really never really came to that gas station. I don't know why. There was not a lot of police activity over there. Cop pulls up, gets out, walks in, and I meet him at the door, basically. I open the door for him. I'm like, hey, so did you find it? He's like, find what? I'm like, my truck. He's like, what kind of truck is it? I'm like, I called you guys. He's like, when? I was like, 4 hours ago. He's like, oh, No, I never heard about that. I just got on shift. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, yeah, I didn't know anything about it. I'm like, God damn it. So he's like, well, let me go take a piss, because that's really the only thing I came here for, was to take a piss and grab a monster. And then after he bought his monster, he pulled out his little pad of paper and wrote everything down. And he's like, all right, so, and he wanted to know the situation, and yeah, it all came out that, yeah, the truck was sitting there unlocked with the keys in it. He's like, all right, well, that's not Grand Theft Auto. That's not even stealing a car. That's tampering with the motor vehicle. So I'm like, what the fuck are you saying to me right now? He's like, well, you left it unlocked with the key in it. I'm like, yeah. And they took it. They don't own the truck. They did not have permission to take it. He's like, yeah, well, it's only going to classify as tampering with a motor vehicle. I'm like, okay, well, can you go find them and fucking tell them to bring it back and then charge them with tampering? He's like, yeah, we'll keep a lookout for it. I'm like, God damn it, dude. So I end up having to call somebody to give me a ride home from work that night. And I got a call from a detective. He gave me like all the information, emailed me some stuff, and I got all the paperwork. And then I was just truckless. Luckily, I guess I still had a job and everything, but I felt so violated in many different ways. And that's when my buddy Tyler and my buddy Bob, he's a square body guy. He put out an APB of his own, and we had friends all over the city in many different groups and stuff. So, and everybody knew I'm a really friendly guy, and I had a lot of people that I knew, and I would consider friends that knew exactly what my truck looked like, sounded like, specifics about it, everything. The rust hole looks like this. Can't really fake that. And it went on and on and on. But my buddy Tyler, he ended up finding a pickup truck for me for free. A guy had it sitting in his driveway. He said I think it was an '89 K1500 long bed. It was a heavy half, and the guy just wanted it out of his driveway. So got me a free truck. Had Bob tow it, and we towed it to his house, and we worked on it for a while. And then I ended up taking it to an auto shop, because I don't know, we replaced so much on that engine, without taking it apart, but replaced a lot on there. It was having some sort of an electrical issue somewhere. Eventually got the truck running and driving, but it didn't run. It ran great for a little while, but eventually it started not running so good. And I'm kind of glossing over this truck because I didn't have it for a long time. I did like it, but I didn't have it for a very long time, and it wasn't a big part of my life, really. I'm so glad I got it, because it did get me from here to there. But the truck started fucking running like complete shit, and I tried working on it and fixing it and stuff, and it just wasn't working. So I posted it up for sale. It was like the same day that I posted up for sale, my buddy's dad, because I used to live with him, and I hadn't changed my mailbox. He's like, you got a letter here from the Kansas City impound lot that they found your truck. I'm like, no fucking way. Like, this is perfect timing. They found my truck, and this one's breaking. So I sold that truck for $500 to some random dude. But I went to the impound lot, and they couldn't find my truck. They were like, I was like, I got a piece of paper saying my truck was here. They take my name and everything. They're like, yeah. just ride around with this guy on a golf cart, and if you see it, let us know. And then we're driving around, and I think that I see, well, there's a fenced-in area, and I'm like, because we can't find it. There was, surprisingly, there was a square body there, but it wasn't mine. And I was like, there's a fenced-in area. Is it in there? And he's like, no, it won't be in there because those are under investigation. Those are like drive-bys and death, car accidents and stuff, and until the police get time to, go through them and everything. I'm like, okay. So they're like, yeah, it's not here. I'm like, motherfucker. So I leave. I come back the next day, and I had like 3 days to pick it up without accruing tow fees or whatever. Went back up there, took the piece of paper with me this time. I don't know why it didn't work out the first time, but I brought the piece of paper, and they looked it up. They're like, oh, yeah, it's under investigation. I was like, okay, well, listen, I'm not paying fees. I'm here to pick it up, and you have it. So if it's under investigation, I understand that, but I shouldn't have to pay fees because I'm here to fucking pick it up, and you guys are holding it. And they got it cleared somehow, and they took me back there to get it, and I'd see it. My brown, beautiful 78 sitting there. The bed is overflowing with fucking junk. And they were like, did you, was it stolen with the trailer? And I was like, it had a trailer? He's like, yes. I was like, no. I was like, but I'll take the trailer. He's like, no, it's not, that's not how it works. I'm like, fuck. So we go there, we get it. They unhook it from the trailer. And then, yeah, the bed is just full of shit. The interior, like they rattle canned the interior all black. Like they tinted the windows with black spray paint, painted the dash and the fucking doors and the seats and shit. And it just looked like fucking dog shit in there. I was like, this is not the way I left it at all. But I put the key in, turned it, the battery was connected and good, and it fired up. I was like, oh, hell yeah. There ain't no way this thing fucking runs. And I put it in gear, and it goes into gear, and I start to drive, but I can't turn the motherfucker. So I park it and open up the hood. For some reason, the power steering bracket is missing. The power steering's there. Or no, I don't know. It was missing some shit. Yeah, no, the power steering was there, but it wasn't hooked up to the belt, so it wasn't working. So I just manhandled it out of the parking lot. And there's like a speed bump when you're leaving the impound lot, and I hit the speed bump, and it fucking rocked the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck? So I just pulled it out onto the main drag to get to the impound lot, and I got out, and I got underneath it. And they had cut all the leaf springs, or broke, I don't know, all the leaf springs off of the passenger side rear. There's just one leaf spring, and in its place was a rubber wheel chock zip tied to the frame and the axle. So it didn't look like it was sagging at all, but it had absolutely no suspension back there. It's like riding on a big ass bump stop. I was like, oh, fuck me. What the hell, man? So I drove it for a couple of days with no power steering and a rubber wheel chock in the. Actually, I drove it for a long time with the rubber wheel chock zip tied up in there, and I just got used to how rough it rode. I don't know. Eventually, I went to the junkyard and they got me a power steering bracket. Put that on. Had power steering back, and then it wasn't until I went back to my buddy's dad's house, and he was scrapping a square body, which I'm against, but I got a hood and a leaf spring off of that, which was nice. And I repainted the truck. I put new seats in it. There was one So I also got like a shitload of keys. I was like, it only had one key when it got stolen, but they gave me a whole fucking handful of keys. And I don't know. I think I threw them all away. But they were all like the storage units and shit. So I was like, man, it would be interesting to find out what storage unit place this is and go open up a bunch of fucking storage lockers. See what the fuck this guy. What people had speculated was that they were stealing heavy shit with that truck, and it blew the leaf springs out because they had too much heavy shit back there. So they put that rubber wheel chalk in there, and they could carry heavier shit or something. I don't know. And I'm guessing they either found it abandoned on the side of the road, or I don't know. But it's just crazy that, and that was 6 months later after it was stolen. It was running around town being used in robberies, and then just found abandoned on the side of the road. It's just, I'm like, I still don't even know where it was located when they found it. I think that was some stuff that was like redacted from my shit, but I was just so happy to have it back. And yeah, once I got the leaf spring done and I got it all repainted, new seats, painted the whole interior, made it look better than ever. And drove it for a long time. Went through a bunch of tires. It was starting to overheat, and I had my eye on this S10 that my uncle had. So I parked it at my uncle's farm over on the tree row, and then bought this S10. I drove the S10 until it started to blow up. I don't know what the hell was wrong with that, but it started fucking up real bad. And so I drove the S10 back to his place, replaced my radiator thermostat, or my thermostat on the intake. That truck was good to go again, and I sold the S10 to a junkyard for $300, which I shouldn't have done that. I had my square body back. It was back and running, and everything was good. I had sold it to a buddy. I have a bad. If I sell a truck to somebody, I gotta sell it to somebody I don't know, because I will buy that motherfucker back, like every time. Which is more apparent nowadays. But sold it to a buddy. He thought it was really cool, but then once he got it, he wanted more luxury. You know, he didn't like having a giant rust hole in the door and the floor, so he was talking about junking it, and I was like, don't junk it up, and I bought it back from him, and then I drove it for a while, and then it needed tires, and some other stuff was going on with it. It was a really old truck that I just cobbled together, is what it was, and I was a young kid that had no money at the time. So my mom helped me buy another vehicle, but she said I had to sell that one first. So I just ran into some random guy buying something for a square body at O'Reilly. I said, hey, you want another square body? I said, what do you mean? I was like, I got one for sale. I was like, how much? I was like, $500. So I sold the square body that day to some random guy at O'Reilly's for $500. And he drove it away. We put air in the tires, and he drove it off my plot of little. It's a duplex. Drove it out of my parking lot, and he was gone. And I wonder what that truck's doing today. I have no idea. You know, it could. The guy, realistically, it had good axles and driving gear and stuff. Everything else on that truck was trashed. So it wouldn't surprise me if it was just parted out and scrapped. But or maybe a body swap. I mean, if you did a body swap on that truck, it would have been good to go. It's a factory four-wheel drive short bed, so it's pretty sought after nowadays too. But you can still get them cheap though. But they are sought after. They don't last very long marketplace short beds, especially ones for a decent price. And that's when I got a Suburban. I got a Suburban on 20s. It was a good. The Suburban did good. It got me through what I needed it to get me through, but I sold that, and that's when I got my GMC Sierra. Man, I had a lot of fun with that square body back in the day, and I just hope I can continue to have fun and make memories, especially with my family in the new square body I got. That's what I'm looking forward to my son showing more interest in coming out and working on it with me, which is probably going to start happening here pretty soon. I just got to do the starter, and I did have him. My son, he's helped me put on wheels and stuff, like take wheels off, put wheels back on. And then, but the biggest thing, the thing that I think he probably remembers the most so far is I needed him to hit the starter switch in my current square body, and he thought he was a damned mechanic. I was like, yeah, I just need somebody to hit the starter switch while I'm under the hood, and he took it very seriously. He was also very scared whenever, because the starter sounds like shit, so it scares him whenever he turns the starter over. But I'm excited. I'm excited to work on it with my boy, and even my girl. My girl, she likes to help with anything and everything. She has no bounds. She'll go out there and help me work on it too. I hope I can get one of them interested in trucks. You know, my son he doesn't even like Hot Wheels and stuff, which is just crazy. I'm like, I can't believe you don't like Hot Wheels. I'm not pushing them on him or anything, but we bought a shitload of like toy cars and stuff and toys that I'm like, if I had these toys when I was growing up, I'd be fucking ecstatic to have these fucking toys. And my son just doesn't give a fuck about cars. It's a little sad, but whatever. He's doing his own thing. He likes shoot 'em up games, and that's really all he's showing interest in. And whatever. All right, man. That's what you like. My daughter, I think she's more likely to get into cars and trucks than he is, but they both love spending time with Daddy, working on stuff, going outside, messing with stuff. Give them a little job to do, like check the tire pressure or something. They'll be so excited to do that. Anyways, I've been talking a long time, and it's been a struggle because my throat hurts. So I'm out of here. Talk to you later. Adios. Keep all 18 down. Bye-bye.